Hi, I'm Scott and welcome back to the channel. Today is another 5-bottle challenge. Can you get by with only 5 bottles in your whiskey collection? So let's jump into the arena and find out. So this is really part 2 of the 5-bottle challenge. If you didn't see that one before, I'll link it up here. But the challenge is this. Someone on a Reddit subforum posted that you really need 5 bottles in your collection. You need a daily drinker, you need a bottle for mixing, you need a bottle to impress your friends, you need a bottle for a Friday night after a long week, you just want to sit back and enjoy it, and you need a special occasion bottle. Now, I can easily argue against all of those points, as you can tell with my collection here behind me, but it's an interesting challenge. In part 1, I focused only on my Scotch side of the bar. So today is the bourbon side of the bar. And what bottles would I pick to go across all of those areas? So the first one is your daily drinker. This one's tough for me on the bourbon side because I tend to switch around a lot, but lately it has been a basic Buffalo Trace. Again, a bottle that you're not going to get hurt too bad when you're buying. It's readily available, very consistent. One thing I noticed when I made the last video is I committed the sin of not actually imbibing while I made it. Might have something to do with the fact that I shot that video at like 11 o'clock in the morning, so I restrained a little bit. But Buffalo Trace, you're all familiar with it. You can sip on this all day. You can, pour it over some ice, and let's not get into that argument. But it's one that is, like I said, very consistent. Got a nice little heat to it. So this has been lately my go-to daily drinker. Next is a mixer. I'm a little bit better with this idea than I was with the scotches. I never mix my scotches. But with a good bourbon, now if you're making a good cocktail, I've got no problem with this concept. And our go-to around here for mixing, for making an old-fashioned or a Manhattan or anything like that is Maker's Mark. An excellent brand, holds up very well to mixing. Again, affordable, $27 I think locally for this. Just a really good, solid choice for making a good cocktail. I don't think I use this, but I'm going to link up here. I made a smoked old-fashioned and shot a video on that. I think in that case I used maybe a local Michigan bourbon, but it's a great cocktail and one that I could have easily made with the Maker's Mark and something I would recommend. So when you're out to impress your friends, I mentioned this in the last video, and it's even probably more to the point here. If you got a bourbon friend, you got all kinds of options. You have to dig deep for somebody that really knows their stuff in the bourbon world to impress them. If you have somebody that doesn't know that much, doesn't know the difference between bourbon and scotch, and is just, getting into it a little bit, I think a solid choice is the good old Blanton's. Hey, it's got a little presentation value in the bottle, which is a little bit unique, in the label, which is unique in the way that they denote where it came from, which rack, which building, and all of that. The proof on there, your horse. There's a lot to talk about if you're going to school your friends on Blanton's itself, and it's an excellent, excellent bourbon. So it's something that would be my go-to. As you can tell, this bottle is almost shot. Now, I don't break this out if I got 10 guys in the house. I break this out if I got one, maybe two. If I've got a crowd to make drinks for, I'll go a different direction. But this is definitely my go-to impress your friends bourbon. So next is the Friday night. You've had a long week. You need to kick back and relax, probably with a cigar or a pipe. What would that be? Tough decision. I've got a lot of choices to go with. One thing I should have mentioned earlier, everything I'm talking about here, I actually have in my collection. I'm not going to drop on you as a special occasion drink a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, because sadly I don't have one in my collection back there. So I'm just going by what I do have. And for my Friday night pour, I think I would go with a Michter's small batch. Nothing terribly exotic. Certainly you could argue that the Blantons might be a better Friday night, but I've already used that one up. So in this case, I think Michter's holds up well to a nice, relaxing Friday night pour. Sometimes with a nice big clear ice cube. I can link that video up there if you like. But it's something that I think is a very solid choice. Not terribly expensive, readily available, and one that lately I've been enjoying a lot. So that brings us to the special occasion. And like I said, I don't have one of these real screamers. I don't have the Pappies. I don't have anything like that. But I do really enjoy a good Colonel E.H. Taylor. This is a small batch. As you can see, maybe I've had a few too many special occasions lately. This is a small batch bottled in bond. Really excellent. I think all of you should try it if you can find it up here in Michigan. It's not an easy find, and I will try and buy them up much as I do with the Blantons when I can find them. So this is one I've been kind of holding in reserve for those more special occasions because I don't have a second bottle. And I think it's well worth the wait on those occasions I decide it's time to have one. So those are my 5-bottle collection on the bourbon side. Comment down below if you agree or disagree. I know this is a very subjective list and everyone will have their own. Make sure that you hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell button, and we'll see you again soon here in the arena.